Good morning. Violence has flared across France for a fifth night, with more than 700 people arrested. Police once again clashed with protesters and fired tear gas at the crowds in Marseille. But in Paris, a heavy police presence appeared to deter protesters. The riots follow the death of a teenager shot by an officer after he drove away from a traffic stop. Jay Akbar reports.
It might have been the night the police took back Paris. An extra 7,000 officers meant there were more blue lights than burning cars. The order from up high was clear: protect the Champs-Élysées. Protesters had threatened to target one of the world's most famous streets on social media. The police were there early and in great numbers. From early evening, they routinely stopped and searched young men in the area. Among the items seized, petrol bombs and a knuckle duster. The police, though, couldn't protect everyone. This was the mayor's office earlier this week, and last night, the mayor of a Paris suburb claims protesters rammed a car into his home. In a statement, Vincent Jeanbrun said, trying to protect them and escape one of the attackers, my wife and one of my children were injured. It was an assassination attempt of unspeakable cowardice. In Marseille, unlike most of Paris, a very different but familiar atmosphere. With no flashing blue in sight, rioters overran the city, setting vehicles ablaze and looting stores. This has been France's nighttime reality since Tuesday, when a policeman shot and killed 17-year-old Naël Marzouk during a traffic stop. Yesterday, hundreds gathered in the Parisian suburb of Nanterre for his funeral. In many pockets of France, there are those who say he was executed by an overzealous and emboldened officer. President Emmanuel Macron scrapped a state visit to Germany today to focus on the crisis it created. He's accused rioters of exploiting Naël's death. Where threats failed this past week, a monumental police presence seemed to have worked, in Paris at least. It saved one of France's most iconic monuments, becoming a battlefront. But for how long? Jay Akbar, ITV News.
Well, here are new measures to crack down on protests by environmental activists come into force from today. Police now have enhanced powers to remove static protests, a common tactic used by Just Stop Oil and Extinction Rebellion campaigners. And tunnelling as part of a protest becomes a criminal offence. NHS England have announced they're nearly doubling the number of gambling addiction clinics due to soaring demand. New figures show a record number of people sought help in England last year. Barbara Holmes explains.
Last year, the number of people seeking help for a gambling addiction in England reached record levels. Almost 1,400 people were referred for treatment, compared with 775 people 2 years ago. To tackle the growing problem, the NHS is setting up 7 new gambling clinics, bringing the number in England to 15. They hope they'll be able to treat up to 3,000 people a year. The announcement comes just before the NHS's 75th anniversary on Wednesday, with the head of NHS England, Amanda Pritchard, highlighting how the service has adapted to modern needs, saying, "In 1948, when the NHS was founded, you had to go to a bookies to place a bet, but now people can gamble on their phone at the touch of a button, and everyone, young and old, is bombarded with adverts encouraging them to take part."
Barbara Holmes, ITV News.
Twitter has imposed a temporary cap on the number of tweets users can read each day. Billionaire boss Elon Musk said unverified accounts are now limited to reading 1,000 posts a day, while verified accounts are set at 10,000. He said it's to address extreme levels of system manipulation. It's not clear how long the limits will last. And it is the final day of the second Ashes test. Play ended yesterday with England chasing another 257 runs with just 6 wickets left. England's men need a huge batting performance to keep their hopes of winning the series alive. And that's it. I'm back with the lunchtime news at 1:15. Until then, do enjoy the rest of your morning. Bye-bye.